What's going on, guys? Tony here, coming at you with another For Honor video. This is going to be the Reworked Kensei Season 5 Advanced Combos and Strategies Guide, basically showing off all the new stuff with Kensei, showing new combos, what I think is the best way to play him, etc, etc. I've had a good amount of time to play with him under my belt, even though it's been out for, only a couple days. I've had a lot of experience with it, so I feel like I can say that this is going to be a pretty good guide for you guys who are still trying to learn the new Kensei. So, for this, we're actually going to shut off the damage in the combat log, because in how to play, it gives you more stamina and damage, so those are not accurate readings, and I don't want you guys to be basing this off of that. So, for Kensei, he obviously has his side lights and the top light. Always go for top light, first off saying. The top light does more damage. It does 20 damage versus 12 from the side lights, so that's going to be in for like any type of move. Like the top light is going to be the most damaging one. So he also got this new move called the Pommel Strike, which is at the top of your first charged up heavy. You just hit square or your guard break button, and it does a nice little pommel hit there, and you're guaranteed a light. So obviously, if the top light is the most damaging, you want to do a top light to get the most damage. Otherwise, you're going to be doing way less damage, and you could potentially lose a round from not doing the most optimal thing. His side heavies feel the same on startup, at least the side heavies do, but there's a new cool thing that you can do with the startup of the top heavy, which is either soft feint into side lights or side heavies. And if you guys still aren't aware what a soft feint is, it's basically just, once I do my top heavy, I input an attack either to the left or the right with either a light attack or heavy attack. Don't need to feint, don't need to cancel anything. Literally, I just hit to the right and the right bumper, and it'll do a right light attack right there. And it's easy as that. So it's a really easy thing to learn. I've found that the side heavies don't work as frequently, but the timing can mess some people up. You can get interrupted from it, however. Also, a thing to note with the top heavy is that the Pommel Strike can only be done in the first attack of the chain. Now, what I mean by that is, say you even throw a light attack out first, and then throw a heavy. That heavy isn't considered the first heavy, it's considered the second heavy in the chain, so that's going to be not able to pommel strike, so you literally only have to throw it on initiation. And I'll show you right here, if I try to hit square, it just goes in for the soft feinted GB, which is still an effective tool, but you need to use the pommel strike as strictly an opener for it to work. Now, in addition to this, is Unblockable got a little bit changed, because you don't need to cancel it or dash cancel per se to go into like a guard break or anything. You literally just need to hit the guard break button and it'll guard break, which is a pretty nice thing. It's a lot easier to cancel this now, and it's going to be easier for some people who might not, be quick enough on the controls to actually cancel it. But if you do feel like you need to dash cancel, you can dash cancel to whatever side, and you can go into those moves such as the Helm Splitter or to the Swift Strike. Speaking of Swift Strike, the Swift Strike was now changed to where it's a heavy attack, so you have to input it by hitting the right trigger. So a cool thing with this is you can delay it really long. So if I put in a normal one like this, you see that's fine. But if you see my sword glow, I can hit right trigger anytime when the sword's glowing, and it'll do a Swift Strike. So I'll show a nice delayed one right there. See, I don't, this is a normal one, but if you wait, it can really throw some people off. Like, they just expect you're dodging out of the way, and then you throw an attack out. So that's a really cool thing to mask your attacks. This is, I don't know if it's partly to the way that the Kensei Deflect got changed that you can do this, but nonetheless, it is very good. Also, make sure you note that the Helm Splitter is now considered a light and interrupted on block. So if you're going for mix-ups, you can't keep going if someone blocks like a dash Helm Splitter right there. That is no longer effective. Also, another thing they changed with Kensei is all light finishers are going to have uninterruptible stance. That meaning if I finish this with a light to the right side, you can see my character glows and my attack comes out faster, and I can't be interrupted during this. So even if an opponent throws out an attack, my attack will still go through. Now obviously, if you're going for some sort of chain, the top light is going to be the best one to do it. Due to the fact that it obviously has the quickest thing. And the only reason I could see you doing this is like if you got a guard break and you wanted to go side heavy into a top light just for like a quick mix up right here, just to go through. It comes out really quick and it does decent damage. Now the Unblockable can do a lot of the stuff normally that it can do. You can still finish into soft feinted heavies and lights, as you see right here. Soft feinted light, definitely probably the best one that you can do with Kensei is a soft feinted light, because it's really quick and it doesn't get punished too often. But you can also go into the Unblockable and do a heavy cancel right there, which still gives the uninterruptible stance, and you can still actually cancel it, as you see right there, and go into like a GB of some sort. So that's very good to know. Kensei also got an actual viable zone now. This is what the zone looks like. Right there, it's 3 hits. You're never going to usually want to go through with the entire zone. It's usually just a poke down thing, so it's super quick. You get like 20 damage off of that first hit, and you cancel it, and then it cancels back after the second swipe around right there. So it's almost like a cancel after the original Kensei zone, but you can have a third attack in there as well, so it's probably a lot better for clearing minions in like 4v4 modes. But the last thing I want to talk about before we go into actual custom matches, so I can show more accurate damage values and punishes, is you can do anything from like the first top heavy can either be, like I said, pommel striked, dash canceled, or soft feinted. And this is the same for the second heavy. The only difference between the two is the second heavy will give you a guard break versus pommel strike. So I can literally do a heavy, side feint light, heavy, side feint light, and that puts me to the Unblockable. Now, those 2 lights are counting as the first 2 attacks in the chain. That's why you can go into the Unblockable, because Kensei, as you can see, if we go to the moveset, is still revolving around 3 hit combos. He just got a whole lot more of them. You can basically do any combination now. So, last thing, now that I remember, is he got a new move called the Nature's Wrath. And it's a decent move. It's mostly for catching people who dodge away from things. It can be coupled with unblockable mix-ups, because it is a dash move, so you can dash cancel out of certain things. It's kind of hard to see the timing at first, but people are going to eventually react to it. There's a couple combos that I like with it right now, but I don't know if that's going to be the case in the future. But with that, let's hop over into a custom match so I can show you some Parry Punishes and optimal punishes for out of stam, as well as some combos. Alright guys, this is going to be the part where we show the punishes and combos for Kensei. Now, the punish for a light parry is going to be the same for Kensei, and that's going to be a side heavy. The Raider doesn't usually throw it out on the level 1 bot, so I'm just going to tell you guys that it's going to be a side heavy. Now, the punish for a heavy parry is now light attacks for all characters, and you're going to want to obviously do the top heavy, because that is going to do 20 damage, as you can see right here. 20 damage versus a side light, which would do only 12. So you're getting 8 more damage off the rip right there, which is very, very good for Kensei. Now I'm going to actually show you guys the out of stam punishes, starting with the out of stam throw punish. Alright everybody, so it has actually come to my attention. This has actually been something that I literally just found out, and I'm adding in between the video. So originally what I thought was the max throw punish was, well, I'll go through all stages. So I thought the original max throw punish was going to be a side heavy into a top light, and that is going to do yourself 50 damage. So I'll show you what that looks like. Side heavy, top light, 35 and 20 damage, that gets you 55, right? So then I was told that you could do top light into top heavy, which does even more damage, which is also correct, and it is also confirmed. It gives you a total of 60 damage, so you can see right there. So we have that right there, that's 60 damage, but the actual max punish on throw is the same max punish that it is for parry, at least it seems so, and that is actually a helm splitter into the Unblockable. You actually get a little delay here, you helm splitter, and then you go over the top, and you can see 17 and 45 actually equals to 62, so it does a total of 2 more damage than the top light into top heavy. So just wanted to add this in there just to make sure that it's correct, because I saw someone had mentioned it on one of my videos, and I just wanted to test to make sure it was true, and it is. The parry still seems to be the same. The best thing that you want to get is that dash forward helm splitter into Unblockable as well. So right now the punish has seemed the same. Now, before we get into the combos, I'm going to show you the quick things with Kensei's Deflect. It changed it up because originally you had to have the guard in the stance that you wanted to actually dash in of the attack, and you had to dash forward. But now you dash in any direction, and it changes your guard stance for you. similar to that of a normal Deflect. So on a top actual Deflect or superior block, you get yourself a free guard break if it lands. On the sides, you're actually going to get yourself a helm or a swift strike. Sometimes they block it. I don't actually know like the cases of how that happens, but 90% of the time you get a confirmed swift strike if you actually hit it correctly, and then you can obviously go into unblockable mix-ups from there because it acts as a chain initiator, and then you're allowed to go into the unblockable after that. So that's what I've seen from the Deflects. Now we're going to actually get into some combos. There's not as many, I feel, combos with Kensei anymore. It feels like you use a little bit more stam when doing actual attacks. So we'll go off with probably one of the nicest ones that I've seen. I'm gonna wait for the bot to get out of stam just so it doesn't try to like heavy me during it. So this one is going to be a guard break heavy, unblockable, Nature's Wrath, fainted unblockable into guard break into side heavy. Now if you didn't exactly catch that, I'll do it one more time for you when the bot gets out of stam. So we're going to be from guard break because it's, you know, less stamina. Now in this unblockable, I dash forward, do the Nature's Wrath, then go into the unblockable again, and then I can do the mix-up after that. So it does pretty much all your stam though, but it's a nice little mix-up to use and can often catch your opponent off guard when you're trying to do the Nature's Wrath, because you can start it off pretty late and you can end up getting a nice little confirmed hit on there if they're trying to go for a parry. This next little combo goes through most of the time. It doesn't do a ton of damage, but it does go through a lot of the time, and it's pretty safe for the most part. And that's going to be a pommel strike top light and do unblockable, cancel, soft fainted light. So what I mean by this is we go into the top light, go up here, and then soft feint a light. That's going to do a total of 40 damage. It does a little over half your stamina, but it's a very safe combo to use at this moment. It's a pretty quick attacks coming through, and will often catch your opponent off guard. Now like I said, there's tons of mix-ups with Kensei still. It might not seem like as many at the moment, but you can still do a variety of different things. You don't exactly have to go on what I am going off of. If you're going from neutral and you want to do like top heavy like initiations, ones that I like to do is either both lights, so light and then into unblockable, or you can light then heavy into unblockable, kind of mix it up a little bit. So light, heavy, and then go into unblockable right there, which is pretty good to use as well because the unblockable doesn't, or the second side heavy right there doesn't get interrupted on block. So it's pretty nice to use just for that main fact that you can go into the unblockable mix-up even if they don't, even if they block it. So that's a really nice thing to use to go into your mix-up. I find too that the soft fainted heavies are actually really slow. As you can see right there, they come out much slower than they did with pre-reworked Kensei. And you can use this to either follow through to catch off your opponent with some timing, or even cancel into guard break. Okay, so another good combo to use, the pommel strike has pretty poor range. Let's say you miss the pommel strike. I always think if you hit the pommel strike, go for the light. But let's just say you miss it right here, and then go into a top heavy after. It makes it a little bit easier to actually try to catch out your opponent, because that top heavy can go into a guard break soft feint right there. And often, if you miss the pommel strike and go for the light, your opponent has a good window to actually parry that and get a light parry punish, which you don't want to actually see. So this combo is going to be you pommel strike, feint in there, guard break, and then do your normal mix-up. For the moment, I find that the mix-ups that are working the best for me are the soft fainted lights at the end. So any of these can be adjusted to how you see fit. But like I said, that one is just going to be a pommel strike into heavy feint, into heavy right here, and then soft fainted light at the end. So I'll have text on the screen for you guys to obviously know what that is. Now, my last combo is going to be something that won't always work, and that's just going to be the helm splitter. You have to, obviously have that hit. It is a little bit quicker now, so it's going to be Helm Splitter into Unblockable, cancel Nature's Wrath into Guard Break into Side Heavy. So it's basically, it looks like this. Kind of like that is how it looks. And then you can actually go pretty decent into your combos from there, because the dash Helm Splitter, as you can see, does literally no stamina whatsoever. So I'll hop into the next round just to show you on the bot what it looks like. All right, everyone. So this is going to be the combo I was telling you guys about. Trying to see if this guy comes out of stamina, which she does not appear to be doing. All right, so he's going to fall over right now. Okay, once they get up, Helm Splitter, Nature's Wrath into GB, and then finish off with a side light to cancel. It does all of your stamina. However, if you get everything to hit, I believe it does 60 to 70 damage, let's just say. The quick maths wasn't working for me, so that is another useful combo to try to use. Not as many people are blocking the Swift Strike because it can come out pretty quick. You can honestly mask it too with a feint of that and try to catch people off guard. That one works as well. So it's literally just playing around with the character. My best advice is to kind of keep your distance and only get close to your opponent when you want to go for initiations, because you can get interrupted super freaking easy, and it's really annoying. As a duel player, I've gotten interrupted by numerous things all the time. Orochi, Berserker, Conqueror, literally any person can just like throw a light out in the startup of that, and it'll usually hit before you can do anything about it. So you really just have to be a little bit more patient with your play now, and just try to pick your battles and find out where you can get openings and learn your players' movesets and adapt to your opponent, and you should be okay. I think it's going to need a little bit of changes, the Kensei, and in the future with like speed and things like that. But I am enjoying it so far, so I hope that this guide has helped you guys out at least a little bit. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, my name is Tony. I'm going to talk to you in the next one. Peace.